one stop, family shop. Think Thayer, come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
How excited are you to get things rolling?
Very excited. It's finally here around the corner, and you're preparing for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, however long, and now it's time. It's finally here. So I mean, I'm very excited.
What do you like with practice so far? I mean, obviously it's only been like, what, 2 weeks?
Practice is the intensity, how hard those guys are practicing, how hard they're playing for me right now. They're doing everything that I've asked of them, picking up the system pretty well. So that's been surprisingly well for me with the way they picked up everything so far.
So optimistic, in that regard, moving forward.
Going in, you're always optimistic. Every coach in the MAC are thinking the same thing right now. We can win a championship. So I think we're no different from any other team.
Well, I guess more so optimistic with them picking up what you want to do
Oh
early
yes,
on,
yes,
moving
yes,
on as
yes.
practices.
Always going into a new situation, a new system. We had that at Miami when we went from George Mason to Miami, and it took those guys a minute to pick up the system and the style of play. It's no different here. It's just how fast they picked it up. That's what surprisingly for me. So it's been going well.
For us, like a guy like Denny stepped up last year. Who steps up for you? I mean, we know what last year's team looked like, but it's a new team, new system. So what can we expect?
Well, expectation from the guys, it's tough to tell. I think Zach will be great in what we do. I think Wesley will be great, and Spencer Parker. I think those guys will be the three that steps up the most for us. We have some freshmen that I think can help and contribute right away. But as far as stepping up, I'm looking for those three to step up.
It seemed like last year, Coach Hans it was all defense, and fed off it. What is your system? What is the system that you're trying to get them to buy into?
Defense, the same. I mean, the defense, we're probably not as much as what Coach Jans did last year. We're more of a pack line defense. We want to run off our defense. We want to, get stops and run in transition. Our goal is to run for layups and open threes. If we don't have that, then we'll go into we'll be more of a pick and roll team than they did last year. Last year they had a pro. They had the 37th pick in the NBA draft. So it's a little different when you're playing with a pro.
What's this transition just been like for you, as a head coach now?
As a head coach, you're moving one seat over. The things that we didn't have to deal with as an assistant with Coach Larinaga, now I'm here, the head coach now. That's the things that I have to do. You do more speaking engagement, meeting with different people, and that's been the biggest adjustment so far for me. Basketball-wise, it's still basketball, still the X's and O's. We played a big part in what we did at Miami, and it's just no different. I just don't have those guys here with me.
Third head coach here in 3 years, different players every year, obviously, as well. But what's something about this team this year that people just may not necessarily know about?
The main thing is how much fun they have. I mean, I don't know if people know about what it takes to win and the characters that we're building on the team, but I think they're having a lot of fun in doing it. And I don't know if they had fun last year or not. I wasn't here, but it seems like they're having much more fun.
You brought back the Junior Falcons. How much is it about tradition and also being first time coaching, but at your alma mater, bringing the tradition, bringing back what you know?
It's definitely about the tradition, and our athletic director always say honor the past to create the future, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing back the past. It was a program that we had when I was here back in 1989. We started it my freshman year, and it was just a way to get the community involved with basketball, with men's basketball, and getting them to feel a part of what we're doing and what we're building. And hopefully, that will bring them out to the games and bring more people out to the games, and hopefully we can get the stroll like we had it in Anderson. I mean, Anderson was a great venue for us to play in, and now, you watch the stroll, and I just hope we can create that environment here.
Do you talk about older teams and like when you were playing, that take the same fire that you had as a player for them?
No, we don't really talk much about that. The one thing that I do harp on more so than anything is when I look up there and see 1968. So they know what that means to me. They know what that means to this university, and that's our goal. I mean, we talk about that more so than anything else.
What has Anthony Stacy provided for you thus far?
He works with our big guys. He's been tremendous with working with our big guys and teaching them. We had Rasheed Worrell, DiMaggio Wiggins, Garrett, Maybelline. So those guys, Josh Gomez, we have those 4 guys that he worked with specifically and done a great job in developing them. And he's just great in the community. He's been here after he stopped playing overseas. He's been back to Bowling Green, and he's the community. I mean, everyone knows him everywhere I go. Everyone asks about him. How's he doing? And he's been great. He's been great, tremendous, and helping me in every way you can imagine.
To have multiple alums on the coaching staff and one being the head coach, how much does that, I mean, it can always help, but I'd imagine that it's a unique situation where sure you might have alums on the staff, but to have the head coach and then subsequent guys down the line.
Oh, it's big because he's been through the same thing I've been through. He's won games at BGSU. He's an all-time leading scorer, so he knows what it takes to win. They won a MAC championship, but then get to the NCAA tournament, so he understands that, and he can bring that to our players. And just the little private talks that he and I have with certain players, and just bringing them along, and they know we know what it takes. We've been in your shoes, so I think that helps out tremendously.
When you look at this team, depth is always important. Good rotation. Are you pleased with what you've seen so far and the potential?
I'm definitely pleased with what I've seen and the potential. It's a new system, new style, and they seem to take much more of a liking to the way we play now. And the depth is there. We can go 10, 11 deep, I think. And but it's still yet to be seen. Everything, you have to play the game in order to see if this works. So I think we're close, though. I think we're close to being very good.
How important are those first couple of months? They always say you don't judge a team in November. You got to see how they're playing in January and February. Those months to learn that system and show that improvement. How important is that?
It's very important because you don't. It's not the way you start the game, it's the way you finish. And that's the same with the season. It's not the way you start the season, it's the way we finish it. In the beginning, you iron out the little kinks that you have, different things you have to work on. You'll see it right away on what a weakness is in your team. And those are the things you get to work on. So when MAC play comes around, you're ready for it.
Can't really look into the future, but trying to just a little bit. That first game, your school head coach, what do you think that'll be like?
I think it'll be a tremendous atmosphere. I think we'll have a great crowd. The support that we've had in Bowling Green right now is tremendous. So the next step for us is to put the finished product on the floor and win games.
And personally, for
Personally, it's exciting. Words can't really describe how I feel, and I don't know the emotions that I will have being that first game and being home. So, just looking forward to it.